Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Hornets Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. Today, coming to you from Hidden Valley High School, just south of Grants Pass, Oregon, for the Skyline Conference matchup between the Henley Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs. My name is Josh Eldridge. So glad to be along with you today. The Hornets making a return to Skyline Conference play after a break last week, picking up wins against Ashland and Cascade Christian. They are winners of 10 consecutive ball games. Hidden Valley, winners of their last 13 consecutive ball games. They wrapped up a series with Mazama last week. 6-0, 11-6, and 13-3 were their wins against the Vikings. But now the powerhouses of the Skyline Conference finally run into each other. Both teams 18-2, both teams 6-0 in league play. We'll discuss the starting lineups. We'll get ready for first pitch in just a couple of minutes, so stick around for more Henley baseball on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
And welcome back to Hidden Valley High School, the site of today's Skyline Conference action between the Henley Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs as we get ready for first pitch today as Connor Shively gets ready to step in for the Henley Hornets. The right-hander Logan Law on the hill for the Mustangs today. First pitch on the way. That's called a strike as we are underway 2 minutes ahead of schedule today from Grants Pass. 77 degrees and cooling off as the day goes along. The count to Shively is 0-1. We'll introduce you to the entire Henley lineup after this 0-1 pitch as Shively takes a breaking pitch, missed upstairs, maybe inside, count is even at 1. Our starting lineups presented to you today by Gary Sheen and Country Financial. Give Gary a call if you're interested in a new life insurance policy at 541-884-1700. Shively swings and misses at the 1-1 pitch, the count 1-2. Connor Shively's the leadoff hitter. He plays shortstop today. Carson Sims follows him in the order, the second baseman, followed by Jacoby Takini, the catcher, batting third. Ian Myers at first base, batting fourth. Derek Cox, the third baseman, bats fifth. Corbin Hamilton, the pitcher, is hitting sixth. Batting seventh is the designated hitter, Cam Carpenter. Chase Barrett's in left, and Chase Barrett is in left. Ryan Douglas is in center field today for the Hornets. It's a 1-2 count to Connor Shively. The left-handed bat for the Hornets fouls off the 1-2 pitch, and he sticks around in this at-bat. The starting lineup for Hidden Valley, leading off for them, the catcher Gage Gamby, followed by Lawson O'Leary, the shortstop, batting second. Logan Law is the pitcher. He bats third. Mauricio Mendez at first base bats fourth. Byron Hill is at third base batting fifth. Landon Nash in center field. Gunnar Johnson's in left. Jerome Chambers at second, and Elijah Thompson is in right for the Mustangs. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Connor Shively. That's a curveball that's going to miss off the plate outside. A big bending breaking pitch from Logan Law has started off the outside of the plate and breaks back towards the left-handed hitting Shively. Count is 2-2 to the leadoff hitter for the Hornets. Like we said, the clash of Skyline Conference Titans today. Both teams unbeaten in league play so far. That'll change after sending 7 innings of baseball this afternoon. Connor Shively, a ground ball out towards second. Chambers' throw on to first is in time, and there is one gone in the first inning. And it brings up Carson Sims. Sims has been instrumental to the Hornets this season, leading them in a number of statistical categories. 446 average. He's seen that dip the last couple of games, but he's come up in the spots where his team needs him to. 28 RBIs, 29 runs scored this year. Leads the team in extra base hits as well. 6 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. Here's the pitch to Sims. First offering, he pokes it out towards second base. Chambers going to play it on a hop and throws to first. Sims beats out the infield single. Chambers took his time, and Sims, racing down the line, beats out the infield single. That's some great hustle right there, and that's what's going to win you a game against another undefeated team in the Skyline Conference. Sims with a 1-out infield single, and it brings up Jacoby Takini. Takini looking in against Law. Law's going to be conscious of Sims at first after he just showed off the wheels there. And here is the first offering to Takini. That one is popped up foul, out of play. The count is 0-1. Weather report today, again, 73 degrees and cooling here just south of Grants Pass, Oregon in Murphy. Wind blowing a little bit out to the north, which would be over the left field fence. Our vantage point from behind home plate facing almost exactly northeast. The rolling hills of the Rogue Valley in the background for this 0-1 pitch for Jacoby Takini. He fouls it straight back. The count is 0-2. I often talk about how beautiful of a field we have back home at Henley, and I stand by that, but I think the backdrop here at Hidden Valley is tough to beat with those rolling hills in the background here in the Rogue Valley. It's just so pretty over that center field fence. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Jacoby Takini. It's a curveball. Takini swings over the top of it, got on the bender, and there's 2 outs in the first inning for Ian Meyer. Meyer on the season, a .373 hitter for the Hornets. And something about Ian and the rest of this senior class for Henley, they haven't lost a league game in their career. Even when the tables, the cards, I suppose, are stacked against them in series against mostly Hidden Valley over the years, the Hornets have always found a way to get past the Mustangs. Even when I was a student here at Hidden Valley High School, it was always, wait till the Hornets come to town. That's the team you want to beat. And it's never changed for a while. These teams have just traded conference championships, and this is always the marquee matchup every year. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs to Ian Meyer. Count is 1-0 to Ian. Sean Teeters down the third base coaching box, giving his signs to Meyer. After Meyer in the order, it's Derek Cox. Law set with the 1-0 and ready to deliver. Here it comes. Nope, we'll take a check over at Sims at first again. He dives back safely. Carson on the season, 11 stolen bases. That is most on the team. He's been caught 1 time. He's certainly a threat to go at any time. Here's the 1-0. Lifted into the air, opposite way, foul. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ian Meyer. Meyer, for his part, like I said, a .373 hitter on the season, but he's had a good last couple of games, specifically that last week when the Hornets took a break from league action in wins against Cascade Christian and Ashland. Meyer was fantastic. A double on a 2-for-4 day against Ashland. He had 3 RBIs in the win against Cascade Christian, turned in a 1-for-3 performance there, but those 3 RBIs came on his first home run of the season, and that was back on May 5th. They check on Sims again over at first, but he dives back safely. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ian Meyer. Stands tall in the right-handed batter's box as Law comes set. Takes his time after coming set. Now the move over to first, and again Sims back safely. Certainly conscious of the speedy Carson Sims over there at first, and he gets right back out to an aggressive lead. About 4 steps off the bag over there at first. Law checks him twice before coming set. And motions home with the 1-1. That pitch misses way up. Law tried to slide step, it looked like, change the motion to see if Sims was on the move. But in changing the mechanics, kind of came out of him there and missed way upstairs. The count is 2-1 to Ian Meyer. Just getting going today, top of the first inning. A single game today will be followed by a doubleheader scheduled for Friday back at Rosser Field at Henley High School. 2-1 pitch. Gonna have to wait. They check on Sims again over at first. Artificial turf surface here at Hidden Valley High School. It is a natural grass outfield with the turf infield. 2-1. Count remains to Meyer. The pitch is a curveball that misses low and in the turf. Gamby, a fine job of keeping that one in front of him behind the dish. Byron O'Leary is at third. Byron Hill is at third. Lawson O'Leary at short. Jerome Chambers at second. And Mauricio Mendez is at first. In the outfield from left to right for Hidden Valley, Johnson, Nash, and Thompson. Law takes a couple of looks at Sims over at first before coming set with the 3-1 pitch. And now motions home. That is a fastball down Main Street. Meyer just a bit tardy on that one, and the count is full. A lot of off-speed stuff from Law to start this game. But coming after Meyer with the heater on that one to work the count back full. But now Sims most likely going to be on the move here, and so you might see a couple more checks over there at first, try to get him leaning. Nope, they don't check. Sims is on the go, and Meyer gets rung up on a pitch below the knees, and that will end the top of the first inning. The Hornets get a base hit, but they leave a runner stranded. We'll go to the bottom half next on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Welcome back to the Evergreen Federal Bank Sports Complex on the campus of Hidden Valley High School as we get ready for the bottom of the first inning. Corbin Hamilton gets the rock today for the Henley Hornets, making his 9th start of the season, its 11th overall appearance. Hamilton, in 37 1/3 innings pitched, has allowed 20 hits, 10 runs, only 5 of them earned. He's walked 14, but struck out 51 batters, a sub-1 ERA, right now at .94 entering play today. Hamilton carries a 6-1 record. Just want to recap the starting lineup for you for Hidden Valley. Leading off for them, the catcher Gage Gamby will be followed by Lawson O'Leary, the shortstop. Logan Laws, the pitcher, he bats third, followed by Mauricio Mendez, the first baseman, batting fourth. Hitting fifth is Byron Hill, the third baseman, followed by Landon Nash in center field. Gunnar Johnson is the left fielder, batting seventh. Jerome Chambers at second base hits eighth, and Elijah Thompson is in right field, batting ninth for the Hidden Valley Mustangs today. In black tops, the word Mustangs written across their chest in orange, and white pants for Hidden Valley. For Henley, they haven't changed their uniforms, I don't think, once this year. They're navy blue tops, Henley written across the chest, and a yellow outline, and gray pants today for the Hornets. First pitch to Gage Gamby, and Hamilton gets a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. It's been a couple of games since Corbin Hamilton has earned a start. He's made most of his relief appearances these last couple of games when the Hornets were in non-league play. Here's a curveball that's lifted into center field, and Gage Gamby aboard with a leadoff single in the bottom of the first inning. Reached for a curveball that was out of the zone, but a good piece of hitting to get underneath it and lift it into center field, and the Mustangs have got a base runner in the bottom of the first inning. Corbin's last start came on April 28th. He pitched 4 2/3 innings against Klamath Union, picked up the win there, allowing 2 hits and 1 run. He struck out 11 batters, back on the 28th against Klamath Union. But certainly a different task at hand today in a dangerous Mustangs order. We're going to have to wait for the first pitch to Lawson O'Leary as they check on Gamby over there at first. O'Leary, a sophomore for Hidden Valley. I believe this is his second year as a varsity player as well. As Hamilton misses a pitch in the carpet, the count is 1-0. After O'Leary in the order, Logan Law, the pitcher, going to help his own cause. Corbin Hamilton missed low with the breaking ball there, but trying to get back into this count. It is 1-0 to Lawson O'Leary. Hamilton set on the hill, having to work out of the stretch here quickly. Pitch is a two-seam fastball, starts off the plate, breaks back towards the right-handed hitting O'Leary. Count is 0-1. Hamilton works with a four-seam, two-seam, go with a slider, curveball, changeup. A deep repertoire for Corbin Hamilton is part of what makes him so dangerous. Guy who really came into his own last year and has taken the role of the Henley ace and run with it. And for Hamilton, only a junior this season. You think he's still got another year to go to improve. For the rest of the Skyline Conference, that might seem daunting, but Hidden Valley not intimidated today, and that's how you got to play against these Hornets. Team that has struggled at times to get out in front early and has relied on their pitching to carry them. The Mustangs going to try to jump on Hamilton early. The pitch there, two-seam fastball misses away. The count's 3-1 to Lawson O'Leary. In the games that Henley scores early, it's been no problem for them. Well, when they wait to score until third, fourth inning, it can sometimes become a challenge, but the scouting report for hitting against Corbin Hamilton is to try to get to him in the first or second inning, because as the game goes along, he just gets better. But here Lawson O'Leary works a walk. That moves Gamby up to second. And with nobody out and a runner in scoring position, here's Logan Law. Law bats from the right side, a wide stance in the right-handed batter's box. Starting pitcher today for Hidden Valley, and he's looking to get an early RBI here against Corbin Hamilton. Here's the offering. That fastball catches the outer third. There's that two-seamer breaking back towards the right-hander, and Hamilton uses it to get ahead. The count is 0-1. After Law in the order for the Mustangs, it's Mauricio Mendez. Hamilton looking in, gets the sign from Takini. Will go around the diamond defensively for Henley after this 0-1 pitch. Hamilton kicks and fires. Curveball misses away. Count even at 1. Jacoby Takini, the catcher. Derek Cox down at third. Connor Shively at short. Carson Sims plays second. Ian Meyer at first. In the outfield from left to right, Chase Barrett, Ryan Douglas, and Porter Frost. A ball and a strike to Logan Law. Hamilton's been working away from the righties here. Takini sets the signal. Here's the 1-1, another outside pitch. Law checked his swing, but that's a strike anyway. Another good firm two-seam fastball. Hamilton's been able to place that pitch through the first few batters. Gets ahead of Law here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton agreeable on the sign from Takini. Sims trying to keep the runner close at second. Hamilton checks on him and now motions home. The 1-2 is a breaking pitch that rung him up. Law says, well, I got that call last inning. I guess I have to respect it here. That's that same pitch that rung up Meyer to end the inning. Off the plate and low, but strike 3 anyway. Mauricio Mendez getting ready to step in now for the Mustangs. It'll be up to him to try to knock in an early run for Hidden Valley, with Gage Gamby at second and Lawson O'Leary at first. Mauricio Mendez, a multi-sport athlete for the Mustangs on the basketball court, helped Hidden Valley a lot this year. As that pitch finds the outside corner. Count is 0-1. Seems as though the outside pitch is going to be there today for both teams. Count is 0-1 right now to Mauricio Mendez. Here's the pitch. That one is hit into the air, right field. Frost charging, but it drops down in front of him. Gamby is going to be held up at third. Frost a good throw in from the outfield. Bases loaded for Byron Hill. So that'll move again. Gamby to third. O'Leary up to second. Mendez aboard after the single. Byron Hill with the bases loaded and one out, trying to give Hidden Valley an early advantage. Hill, a freshman, in a big spot in a Skyline Conference game. The pitch, fisted down the third base side by the diving glove of Cox. 1 run will score. They're waving in O'Leary. The throw's not going to beat him. They cut off to Meyer down at first, but a 2 RBI double. Mendez stays put at third. Hidden Valley on the board, 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Big piece of hitting there for the freshman. First pitch swinging, too, for Byron Hill with the double. And now 2 stay in scoring position for Landon Nash. Nash, the starting center fielder for Hidden Valley, bats here from the left side. Hamilton delivers, and a first pitch breaking ball dips below the zone. The count is 1-0 to Nash. Nash, a senior for Hidden Valley this season. Here is the 1-0 pitch. That one is going to dip below the zone, 2-0. So you look at the Skyline Conference standings, of course, these two teams at the top, 6-0, and it's a pretty large disparity between themselves and Phoenix, who are 4-5, and the third best team is Amos 2-4. Klamath Union is 0-9 in league play, as Hamilton dials up a changeup and gets a looking strike one. Count is 2 balls and a strike to Landon Nash, with Gunnar Johnson waiting on deck. Hamilton set with the pitch, working with pace out there. The 2-1 is hit into the air into the center field. Gets down in front of Douglas. They're going to score. Mendez. Hill gets the green light as well. The throw in is going to be late. And another 2 RBI base hit for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the first inning. They lead 4-0. Brings up Gunnar Johnson. Swinging early and often are the Mustangs here. Started out with a leadoff single to Gamby. Lawson O'Leary walked. Hamilton struck out the third hitter in the order, but it's been 3 straight hits. Mendez singled, Hill doubled, and Nash singled as well. Jacoby Tacchini going out to have a chat with his pitcher, Corbin Hamilton. It's been aggressive hitting for the Mustangs. Hamilton hasn't really left anything over the plate, but the Mustangs have just taken advantage of fastballs. They're waiting for that fastball to get in that count, and, well, they're taking advantage of it here. Already out to a 4-run advantage in the bottom of the first inning. And there's only 1 out. 1 runner still on in the person of Landon Nash, and here's Gunnar Johnson. Pitch is going to bounce in the turf. Tacchini, the backstop for the Hornets, knocks it down. That will keep Nash aboard at first. Count is 1-0, though, to Johnson. Gunnar Johnson, a senior this year for the Mustangs. Hamilton comes set as he checks on Nash at first. Here's the 1-0 home. That is going to miss low and in. The count is 2-0 to Johnson, with Jerome Chambers on deck. About a 3-step lead off of first for Nash. Nothing atypical there. Not necessarily overly aggressive, but they check on him anyway ahead of the 2-0 pitch. Johnson digs back in the right-handed batter's box. Wide in the stance. Here's the 2-0. Hamilton goes inside with a 2-seam fastball. That one's hit out to center field. Back is Douglas near the wall. He makes the catch, and there are 2 outs in the inning, and it brings up Jerome Chambers. Jerome Chambers, a senior for Hidden Valley. 2 outs, a runner aboard at first for the Mustangs, and already 4 runs home here in the bottom of the first inning. Hamilton set. Delivers the pitch. Runner is on the move. The pitch is called a ball. The throw down is in time. Tacchini catches another stealing this year, and that will end the first inning, but not before the Mustangs score 4 on 4 base hits, and they leave a runner stranded. We head to the second next on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, Cam Carpenter do up this half inning for the Henley Hornets. That's 5, 6, 7 in their order as they trail Hidden Valley 4-0 in the top of the second inning. The pitch home is a swing and a miss. Cox over the top of that one, falls behind here 0-1. Derek on the season, a .346 hitter for Henley. A couple of extra base hits on the season for him. 2 home runs as well for the Hornets. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back. Count is 0-2. Cox trying to protect that outside pitch that has been called a strike today. We've seen a couple of pitches in the other batter's box be called a strike so far, so you got to protect the outside part if you're a right-handed hitter. Count is 0-2 to Derek Cox. Logan Law ready to deliver out of the windup. He elevates the fastball, and Cox swings and misses. 1 out in the top of the second inning. 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to last inning for Logan Law. And here is Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton trying to help himself out a little bit. Gave up 4 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. Trying to get on base here to start something for Henley. Don't need it all back here, but as I say, the longer that 0 stays in the runs column, the more the confidence dips. It's important to at least get 1 here in the next couple of innings for Henley. Try to keep this 4-run deficit, or 4 runs on the board, I suppose, for Hidden Valley in check. As the first 2 curveballs missed to Hamilton, they missed below his knees. The count is 2-0 to the Henley pitcher, with Cam Carpenter waiting on deck. Here is the pitch from Logan Law. He comes in with the fastball. Hamilton checks his swing, but it's a strike anyway, and I don't even think he held up in time. 2-1, the count to Corbin. He is a .390 hitter this season for the Hornets. That pitch is going to miss low. Count is 3-1. Pitch to Hamilton. He fouls that one off. Count is 3-2. Hamilton has worked the count full. Relaxed in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 3-2. That pitch is swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks to begin the inning for Logan Law. 4 in a row, and it brings up Cam Carpenter. Carpenter, the designated hitter today, hitting in spot of the right fielder, Porter Frost. Carpenter, the freshman, batting .229 this season for Henley. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses upstairs. Count is 1-0 to Cam. Chase Barrett is on deck for Henley if Carpenter can find a way to get on base. Carpenter this season has as many extra base hits as he does singles this season, 4 each. 7 RBI, 8 runs scored. Carpenter gets on base about 31% of the time. The pitch there chases a pitch that bounces to the plate. 2-1. The Hornets trying to center up here. 2 strikes on the freshman, and that pitch, you would have needed a 9-iron to catch up to that one. Carpenter, 2 strikes on him. The pitch from Law is looked at for strike 3. The 2-seamer got him looking. 5 straight strikeouts, and the Hornets go down in order in the second. We head to the bottom half now as they trail Hidden Valley 4-0 on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Getting set now for the bottom of the second inning in a 4-0 ball game. Hidden Valley leading Henley in this one as it'll be 8-9-1. Mustangs due up this half inning. Jerome Chambers, Elijah Thompson, and Gage Gamby. Chambers got to see a couple of pitches from Hamilton in the first inning, but a couple of pitches in, Landon Nash was caught trying to steal second for the third out. So a fresh count for Jerome Chambers to lead off the bottom of the second inning. And again, his team up by 4 runs against Henley. Here's the pitch to Chambers. Hamilton is going to get across a fastball. It's hit out to Shively at short. Throw on to Meyer is in time. And there's 1 pitch and 1 out in the second inning. Important quick one to get there for Corbin Hamilton. Elijah Thompson getting set to hit now for the Mustangs. Thompson, the number 9 hitter in the order. Elijah is a sophomore. Here is the pitch from Hamilton. A curveball drops in for strike 1. Good pitch there from Corbin. Started on the inside, broke back across the plate. Might have caught a bit more of the plate than he would have liked, but he still used it to get ahead. He goes to the same pitch in the same spot and same result. Looking at strike 2 is Elijah Thompson. Now he's going to have to get defensive, and Hamilton, after going off speed twice, the 0-2 is going to come in and hit Thompson. The curveball slipped out of his hands, and Thompson gets a free pass there, and it brings up Gage Gamby. Gamby singled and later scored his last time up. 1 for 1 today, and a 1-out base runner in the bottom of the second inning. Hamilton set, middle infield ready to turn 2. Not a terribly aggressive lead off of first for Thompson as the pitch misses down and away. 1-0 to Gage Gamby. Gamby, a freshman, hitting in the leadoff spot for the Mustangs. Here is the 1-0 from Hamilton. That one misses down as well. Tried to go off speed, but it dipped below the zone. The count is 2-0. Not only are these two teams leaders in the Skyline Conference, but they're leaders around the state. Entering play today, Hidden Valley ranked 5th, Henley ranked number 1 in the 4A class. Before the 2-0 pitch, a check over to first. Thompson dives back safely. 18-2 record for both teams, although with Hidden Valley playing a couple of games against out-of-state teams or out of classification, that stops them from being able to receive the RPI or Collie points. Probably the only reason why they're not ranked higher than 5 is because only 18 of their 20 games actually count according to the OSAA. Count is 2 balls and a strike after a swinging strike to Gage Gamby. And with a new head coach in Ryan Wilson, a couple of returners for the assistants, Hidden Valley off to a great start this season. The 2-1 is going to bounce in the dirt. 3-1 the count to Gage Gamby. And those 2 wins for Hidden Valley that came out of state. They defeated Wairika 16-1. They defeated Etna 5-2. And both of those games during this 13-game winning streak that the Mustangs are on right now. 2-seam fastball missed in, and a walk issued to Gage Gamby will move Thompson to second, and it brings up Lawson O'Leary with an RBI opportunity in the bottom of the second inning. But first, we are going to see a visit by Coach Craig Connor, the pitching coach for Henley. We're also going to see a courtesy runner come in for the catcher. It will be Lakai Fitzsimmons for the Mustangs. And as we get an opportunity here to remind you of some of our broadcast partners today on mybasin.com, want to give a shout to Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. They use a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy to ensure you see both a reduction in pain and enhanced mobility, getting you back to peak levels of optimal health and wellness. Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance has been treating athletes of all ages since 2020. Also, big thanks to our player of the game partner, Abby's Legendary Pizza. We're going to be able to continue that tradition past the month of April, thanks to the folks down at our local Abby's in Klamath Falls at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza, a proud supporter of high school athletics. After every Hornets win the rest of the season, we'll be picking an Abby's Legendary Pizza player of the game and giving out a free pizza for the rest of the year. All right, here's Lawson O'Leary after the conference on the Hill has concluded. We've got Elijah Thompson at second, it is Fitzsimmons aboard at first. It was Gamby who walked, and the courtesy runner Fitzsimmons took over for him. Count is 1-0 to Lawson O'Leary, who walked himself back in the first inning and would later come in to score in that 4-run first inning for Hidden Valley. And with one out here in the bottom of the second, they're flirting with more. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hamilton. He goes curveball on the outer third, gets a strike looking to Lawson O'Leary. The count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike to the sophomore for Hidden Valley. Logan Law is on deck for the Mustangs. 1-1 pitch from Hamilton. Looks around and now offers in a two-seam fastball jammed up O'Leary for strike 2. Hamilton working ahead here. See if words of encouragement from Coach Connor has helped Hamilton regain some of his mechanics here in the second inning. The 1-2, Hamilton checks on second, now looks home, motions, a curveball is hit towards the left side of the infield. Shively underhand dish to Sims at second. Throw to first takes Meyer off the bag and it's out of play. And a run will score as Thompson is going to advance on the dead ball. O'Leary to second, he will reach on the error and then advance there. Gamby was out on the play for the second out, and as I said, a run comes in to score, and Hidden Valley leads 5-0. There are 2 outs in the inning, and here's Logan Law. Law 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the first inning. Bats here with a runner in scoring position. Here's the first offering from Hamilton as he looks around. Takes a look at second. No one's really holding O'Leary there. And the pitch is a curveball bounced to Cox at third. Plays it on 2 hops. The throw to first is in time, and that will end the inning. But the Mustangs score 1. No base hits required. They leave 1 stranded as well. A score of 5-0 as we go to the top of the third next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
The sun is out here in Grants Pass, and it's shining on the Mustangs through 2 innings as they lead Henley 5-0. 2 up for the Hornets here in the third. Chase Barrett, Ryan Douglas, Connor Shively. That's 8, 9, and 1 for the Hornets as they look to get something going against Logan Law. He struck out the last 5 batters that he's faced, and Chase Barrett gets ready to try to break that streak here to lead off the third inning. Barrett this season, a 300 hitter for the Henley Hornets. That's from the right side here. The pitch on the way from Logan Law is off the plate outside, and it's going to miss. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to Barrett. That one nearly came in and hit him. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. Important for the Hornets. Be patient. Strike zone has sometimes been tough to locate today for both teams, but trying to work ahead in the count, make Law give you something hittable. As a 2-0 pitch in a similar spot to the previous one, this time gets called a strike. Count is 2-1 to Barrett. Ryan Douglas waits on deck. Law working out of the windup. Here's the 2-1. Two-seam fastball elevated in the zone. Barrett swings underneath it, and the count is 2-2 to Chase. Catcher Gamby looks over towards the dugout to their pitching coach Mike Reese for the call. The 2-2 elevated fastball. Barrett swung underneath it. A string of 6 Ks for Logan Law brings up Ryan Douglas. Douglas, the number 9 hitter in the order. Bats .250 for Henley. He's seen that average jump up quite a bit these last couple of games. In fact, Douglas was our player of the game last week in non-conference action as he checks his swing and gets ahead 1-0. Against Cascade Christian, Douglas was 1 for 1 with a double and an RBI. Here is the 1-0. It is bounced back. 1-1. After Douglas in the order, it's Connor Shively. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung underneath. Law elevating that fastball, producing the swing and the miss here against Henley. Douglas has got 2 strikes on him, got to protect there, but again, with that elevated pitch, we'll see what Law does here if he tries to dial it back in a 2-strike count. There's a fastball, let her high. Douglas wisely laying off that time. Seen it one too many times, but even then, you still keep that eye level high for Logan Law. Still feel like he's working ahead here, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball, that one misses up. That was a good pitch by Law, but a better take by Ryan Douglas. Count is full. Hornets haven't had a base runner since the first inning. Here's the 3-2. That one is swung on and missed. The outside heater, Douglas swung over the top of it, and there are 2 outs in the third inning. Connor Shively getting ready to step in now. He grounded out in the first inning. Trying to get something of a 2-out rally started for Henley. They trail Hidden Valley 5-0. Here's the offering from Law. Shively watches that one hit the carpet. Count is 1-0. Shively, the team's second leading hitter. That's .422 on the season. Second most hits and second most runs scored as well for Shively as that pitch bounces low as well. 2-0. Shively going to be further in his playing career at Chemeketa Community College. Expect a signing day soon for him at Henley High School, and you'll be able to see more of that on mybasin.com. Just hasn't been announced quite yet. The 2-0 to Shively is swung on and missed. Law goes inside with that one. Shively got a piece of it, but fouled it back into the glove of Gamby, the catcher. Counts now 2-1 to the lefty bat for the Hornets. Gamby sets up the signal. Here's the 2-1. It's a curveball dropped in for a strike against Shively. The count even now 2-2. Started off the plate to the lefty, but then broke back across middle of the plate. About belt high against Connor. Going to have to settle back in now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty. Top of the third inning. Law finds the pitch from the windup. 2-seam fastball. Shively fouled that one off. That was about chin level to Shively, but was still able to fight it off. And that 2-seam fastball looks good today for the Hornets. They're wanting to chase that high fastball. Wonder if that's been part of the scouting report here for the Mustangs. But they're getting Henley to chase at that high heat here early. Here's the 2-2. Goes curveball in the dirt. Good change of locations that time for Law, but he falls behind now with the count full against Shively. Hornets trying to get a 2-out base runner. Carson Sims is on deck. Got a new baseball out there. Law rubs some dirt on it. And we're ready to go with a 3-2. That one is a ground ball right side through for a base hit. Shively on board with 2 outs in the third. First hit since the first inning, and the last man to do it is the next man up. Carson Sims is 1 for 1 today. He singled back in the first inning. Was left stranded as Law would then embark on a string of 7 consecutive strikeouts. Modest lead off of first for Shively. Here's the pitch to Sims. First pitch swinging, hits it sky high to right field. Thompson moving over, having to battle the sun, but he makes the catch for the third out. The Hornets get a base hit in the third, but they leave Shively stranded as we go to the bottom half next in a 5-0 ball game. The Mustangs in front of the Hornets on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Bottom of the third inning, and it's the middle of the Mustangs order due up against Corbin Hamilton, Mauricio Mendez, Byron Hill, and Landon Nash. 5-0 the score, Hidden Valley leading Henley. Bottom of the third inning of this Skyline Conference game. Game 1 of a 3-game week series against Hidden Valley. Game 1 here today at the Evergreen Federal Bank Sports Complex will migrate over to Rosser Field on Friday for a twin bill beginning at 3 p.m. First pitch to Mauricio Mendez. A curveball catches the inner third against the tall right-handed hitter Mauricio Mendez. Count is 0-1. Mauricio 1 for 1 today. He singled and scored in the first inning. Here's the 0-1 from Hamilton. Another off-speed pitch. This time Mendez lays off on a pitch below the knees. Count is even at 1. Byron Hill waiting on deck for the Mustangs. The pitch from Hamilton is a two-seam fastball that's bounced to third, foul. Hamilton gets ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. See if we can't find some scores for other Klamath Basin teams today. We'll check on what's happening just over the right field fence. Henley and Hidden Valley softball, another battle for the top of the Skyline Conference. 1-2 pitch, rung up Mendez on the outside pitch. Again, going to have to protect pitches that would typically be out of any strike zone, but today they're being called a strike. There is 1 out in the bottom of the third inning, and Byron Hill is coming up next. Let's see. It is a 3-2 ball game. Hidden Valley leads Henley in softball, top of the third inning. We'll check in on a Cross Point Christian score here in just a moment as Byron Hill steps to the plate, sends a line drive into left field, and a single in the bottom of the third inning. Cross Point Christian leading Riddle 8-2. That game is, I believe, in the top of the 7th inning. Lost River right now trailing Illinois Valley, a score of 4-3. That game is in the 6th inning. Let's see. Klamath Union and Mazama tied up at 1 as we move along here today. We'll keep you posted on as many of those scores as we can. Here's Landon Nash. The first pitch to him called a strike, 0-1. Nash came up with a 2 RBI single in the first inning. He was caught trying to steal second to end that inning. Byron Hill aboard at first. By the way, he's now 2 for 2 today. Had a double in the first and then singled. That one's hit, flared out to left field, foul. The count is no balls and 2 strikes to Landon Nash. Gunnar Johnson is on deck for the Mustangs. Nash, the left-handed hitter for Hidden Valley, settles back in. A modest lead off of first for Byron Hill. Hamilton trying to set down the number 6 hitter in the order. Here's the 0-2. Goes outside with a 2-seamer. A chance for Sims at second. It rolls off the mound and then underneath his glove. And everybody is going to be safe as Hill advances to second and Nash aboard on what will likely be ruled an error even though it was a tough play for Sims to make, he was preparing for it to hit the turf, which is always a true bounce, but it just rolled off the back of the mound and underneath where he had placed his glove, anticipating the bounce off the turf. And so it'll be an error. And Gunnar Johnson bats now with 2 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses away. Count is 1-0. It's the second time that the Hornets have had a chance at an inning-ending double play and have been able to come up with it. And so for Hamilton, the key is to just keep trying to work out there. You can't think about what could have been. You have to worry about what is. And right now, you've got 1 out and 2 runners on, and you're behind in the count 2-0 against Gunnar Johnson. After Johnson in the order, it's Jerome Chambers for the Mustangs. Hamilton set, checks on the runner at second, and now motions home with the 2-0, misses inside again, 3-0 to Johnson. Hamilton has allowed 2 walks today, 1 in each of the first 2 innings. In danger of a third here in a 3-0 count against Johnson. Tacchini gives the sign, sets up outside. Hamilton hits his spot with a 2-seam fastball, 3-1. Johnson 0 for 1 today. He flew out in the first inning. Hamilton set. And here's the pitch. That one is rolled up to Shively at short, and Shively mishandles it. And the infield for Henley having all sorts of problems here on this turf surface. I thought it might be something to bring up. Usually the artificial turf surface is a little bit easier to play on, but when you play on grass all year long, you expect it to come to you a little bit slower. It gets on you a little bit quicker here, and well, that's back-to-back errors for the middle infielders for Henley, something you rarely see. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out, and it's Jerome Chambers. The pitch is going to bounce to the plate. Count is 1-0. Hill at third, Nash at second, Johnson aboard at first. Hamilton behind in the count, 1-0. And here's the pitch. That one is going to be taken low, 2-0 to Chambers. Nowhere to put him here, and Elijah Thompson is on deck. Wide in the stance is Chambers on the right side. Hamilton readies with the 2-0. 2-seam fastball finds the zone. Count is 2 balls and a strike to Jerome Chambers. A score of 5-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. But again, the bases are loaded here for Hidden Valley. Hamilton steps, kicks, and delivers. The 2-1 is in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jerome Chambers. Hamilton ready to throw again. Working out of the stretch. He likes to work with pace out there. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, and that got Chambers swinging. Big strike out there for Corbin Hamilton. Now there's 2 outs, and the bases loaded for the number 9 hitter in the order, Elijah Thompson. That's a big strikeout for Hamilton. Not only, of course, getting the second out to try to get through this inning, but for confidence. Again, back-to-back errors in the infield. Sometimes as a pitcher you think, okay, I'm going to have to do this myself. And that time Hamilton did it himself. Got the swing and the miss there. Thompson stepping in now. He was hit by a pitch. He came around to score in the second inning. Here he lifts one into the air. Right field. That one is going to wind up down in fair territory. 1 run is going to score. They wave in Nash as well. And they both come in. It is 7-0 Hidden Valley in the bottom of the third inning. Runners will stay at the corners as Thompson knocks in 2 on the single. Hill scored, Nash scored, Johnson to third. And back to the top of the order now for the Mustangs, Engage Gamby. And Coach Connor coming out of the dugout here for Hidden Valley. It looks like that will be it for Corbin Hamilton as Ty Teeters is following out of the dugout. We will take a timeout and come back, introduce you to Ty Teeters, see if Corbin Hamilton stays in the game here as we pause in the bottom of the third inning with 2 outs in a 7-0 ball game that Hidden Valley leads on mybasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
New pitcher in the game for the Hornets is Ty Teeters, making his 9th appearance of the season. He's pitched 15 previous innings. He's allowed 13 hits, 7 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 16. An ERA of 3.26 for Ty Teeters, coming in relief of Corbin Hamilton, who stays in the game. He will remain in right field for Henley as Porter Frost has been removed from the defensive lineup for the Hornets. Cam Carpenter will still hit in his spot as the designated hitter. Ty Teeters will slide in that spot on the defensive end. So now Carpenter hitting for the pitcher. Teeters works 4-seam, 2-seam, a good bending breaking ball, and a changeup. Haven't seen him work a slider in too much yet, but Ty Teeters, a guy that you look to the future of Henley. He's a sophomore, and he's getting good experience this season for Henley, and got to get a chance here to pitch against the Mustangs order, which is hot here in the beginning of this ball game against Henley. They've scored 2 runs here in the third. They lead 7-0 as we continue the bottom of the third inning. There's 2 outs and runners at the corners. Aboard at first is Elijah Thompson. Aboard at third is Gunnar Johnson. At the plate is Gage Gamby. He's 1 for 1 today. Singled in the first. He also walked in the second. Ty Teeters delivers the first pitch, drops in a curveball off the plate outside, strike 1. And Gamby falls behind. Lawson O'Leary waits on deck for Hidden Valley. Teeters takes a look over at first. Modest lead for Thompson. Not much to speak of over at third. Line drive towards the Hidden Valley dugout. Is everyone okay? I think they are. That hit the barricade. Coach Dakini had to get out of the way of that one. All right, 0-2 the count to Gage Gamby. After that screamer towards the Hornets dugout. Everyone, they're staying in the same spot. I would duck for cover after that one. Runner is on the move. Teeters steps off. Throw to try to tag out, and the tag is not applied. Got time out, and a diving player was injured, it looks like. Did he jam his hand into the ground diving? He's favoring his left hand. I don't want to speculate too much on what the injury might be, but he got up and he's shaking off his right hand quickly. Coach comes out to have a talk. He gets up. He heads back to second. Sims was shocked that the play wasn't out. If he applied the tag, the throw certainly beat him, but it might have been, did Thompson slide underneath the tag? As we take a brief pause in the action, want to remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com, brought to you in part by Sage Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Sage Credit Union can help you reach your goals. After the steal of second, Thompson in safely, by the way, 2 runners in scoring position and an 0-2 count to Gage Gamby. Teeters trying to leave him stranded out there. Set on the mound. Here's the 0-2. Curveball swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. The Mustangs do score a pair, though, on 2 base hits. They leave 2 stranded. They lead 7-0 as we head to the 4th on mybasin.com.
Your
your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
Getting set for the top of the 4th inning, a game that Hidden Valley leads Henley 7-0 for Hidden Valley so far. 7 runs comes on 6 hits. They've committed 1 error, and they have left 4 runners on base. For Henley today, no runs, 1 hit. They have committed 3 errors, and they have left 2 runners on base. 2 up this half for the Hornets to try to get something going against Logan Law. It's going to be Jacoby Tacchini, Ian Meyer, and Derek Cox. 3, 4, and 5 in the Henley order. Tacchini steps in. He's 0 for 1 today, struck out in the 1st inning. Here's the pitch from Law. Curveball, misses low and away. Count is 1-0 to Jacoby Tacchini. Again, Ian Meyer waits on deck. Jacoby with the rare strikeout his last time. Law's been breaking off that breaking pitch well here today, but falls behind after using the curveball there. Now goes fastball, fouled straight back, and the count is 1-1. Tacchini settles back in here. Here's the 1-1. That one is elevated. Takes it for ball 2. Level out the camera again after we almost took a foul ball straight to it. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Curveball. Tacchini looks at that one knee high again. Law relying on that curveball, and it's a good one. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball. That time it misses in. And the count is full to the Henley catcher, Jacoby Tacchini. Gonna have to protect here. Gamby gives the signal. The fastball fouled back. Tacchini does stay around in this at-bat. Here's Law with a full count once more. Curveball. Tacchini swings over the top of it. A hanging curveball is out number 1 in the 4th inning. Brings up Ian Meyer. Meyer 0 for 1 with a strikeout today as well. In fact, the next 6 hitters in the Henley order all went down on strikes their first time up. Law had struck out 7 in a row between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the outside pitch to Meyer. Count is 0-1. Despite being 0 for 1 today, Meyer a .373 hitter for the Hornets. The 0-1 pitch is a line drive, and it is through and into center field. A 1-out single for Ian Meyer. And he is aboard for the Hornets' 3rd hit of the day, and it brings up Derek Cox. Cox 0 for 1 today, a .346 hitter this season for Henley. 10 of his 18 hits have been of the single variety. He's also mixed in 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers this season for Derek. Just trying to keep the train moving for Henley. You know you're not going to get 7 runs back on one swing of the bat, but you can get 1 or 2 at a time if you get guys on. The pitch to Derek is fouled off, and the count is 0-1. And Henley's a team that can score in bunches, but the longer you stay down by 7, again, if you bring yourself within 2 or 3 in the next couple of innings, you feel more confident, but it all starts with stringing some base hits together here in the fourth. Pitch to Cox is going to bounce in the turf. 1-1, the count to Derek, with Corbin Hamilton on deck. Law gets the ball back. He's back on the hill, ready to go. Ian Meyer aboard at first. Law checks on him, now motions home. That one's hit hard, deep to right field. That one is gone! A 2-run blast for Derek Cox. Home run number 3 on the season, and the Hornets fans in attendance given something to cheer about there. It is 7-2. Henley still trails, but Derek Cox trying to liven up that dugout just a bit. Derek with his 3rd homer of the season pulls him even for the team lead and his 19th RBI there. Corbin Hamilton bats with the bases empty and 1 out. Hamilton chases a pitch upstairs, 0-1. Corbin 0 for 1 today. On the season, bats .390. Here's the 0-1 pitch, bounces to the plate, 1-1. We'll see if that homer gives a little bit of life to Henley. Finally on the board here in the top of the 4th inning. Law back working out of the windup. He's been comfortable today. The 1-1 misses upstairs. Hamilton wisely laying off that one. The count's 2-1. Cam Carpenter is on deck for Henley. Having a little bit more success against Logan Law, his 2nd time through the order. Here's the 2-1. That one's hit hard but foul. 2-2. Hamilton going to have to get defensive with 2 strikes on him here. And the pitch. Curveball and a bouncer to short. O'Leary charging. The throw to first is going to be in time. 6-3 in the book, and it brings up Cam Carpenter with 2 outs. Carpenter is 0 for 1 today. Trying to get something going here with 2 outs for the Hornets. Here's the pitch. Curveball dips below the zone, 1-0. After Carpenter in the order, it's Chase Barrett, open for an opportunity this half inning. Here is the 1-0. Carpenter checks his swing, but fouls it off. Counts even, 1-1. Tall right-handed hitter Cam Carpenter wearing the number of his older brother, number 13 for the Henley Hornets. And looks as though we might have got some rubber pellets for the catcher, Gamby. Turf has aged a little bit here at Hidden Valley. Won't hide the fact. A lot of rubber pellets out there, especially in the space around the infield, specifically that foul territory, as Cam Carpenter takes a pitch off the plate outside for strike 2. 1-2 on the way to Carpenter, and he has to chase that one. It's a drop 3rd strike. Up with it is Gamby. The throw on to first is in time. Carpenter strikes out to end the 4th, but Derek Cox gets the Hornets on the board with a 2-run blast. It's a 7-2 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th next on mybasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Hidden Valley leads Henley 7-2. Ty Teeter's getting ready to work in his second inning of relief. That means we can close the book on Corbin Hamilton, who for the Hornets pitched 2 2/3 innings in his start, gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, only 4 of them earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. He would be on the hook for the loss if this 5-run advantage for Hidden Valley holds. Ty Teeter's hoping to keep it right here. Henley may have found some life in the top half of this fourth inning, as strike 1 is called to Lawson O'Leary. I mean, the strike zone is getting bigger as the game goes on. It's pretty interesting. O'Leary today 0 for 1. He reached on an error in the second inning. That pitch is lifted, playable in the infield. Meyer, the first baseman, makes the call and the catch for the first out of the fourth. Logan Law stepping in now, 0 for 2 today, but he's having a heck of an afternoon on the mound. We just checked the final line score for Corbin Hamilton. I'll give you the line for the pitching stats today for Logan Law. Okay, O'Leary jogging back across I thought we were ready to play. Is it a cramp maybe? Not sure. Anyway, the numbers for Logan Law today, he's pitched well. Like I said, 4 innings, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts for Logan Law on the hill today for Hidden Valley. Looking to get a rally started for the Mustangs with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch from Ty Teeters is going to bounce to the plate. Ball 1. Mauricio Mendez waits on deck for the Mustangs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a curveball swung on and missed by Logan Law. 1-1. Good curveball there from Ty Teeters to get Law to chase after that one. Stands wide in the right-handed batter's box. The 1-1 from Teeters. Curveball again. Knee high. Called a strike over the plate. Good pitch there from Teeters to get ahead. Teeters doesn't like the first offering from Takini. Now comes set with the 1-2. Goes fastball down and in. Misses. And 2-2 the count now to Logan Law. Struck out in the first. Grounded out in the second. Did the Hidden Valley pitcher. The 2-2. Teeters a curveball. It's bounced over to Cox on 2 hops. The throw to first. Meyer's going to have to pick it, and he does so beautifully. A great play there by Ian Meyer to pick that one out, and there's 2 gone in the fourth. Mauricio Mendez getting ready to step in now for the Hidden Valley Mustangs. 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first and scored. He also struck out in the third. Ty Teeters set on the hill. Takini gives the signal and the location. It's a curveball outside, taken the opposite way, and a 2-out single for Mauricio Mendez. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Brings up Byron Hill. Hill's had a good game today, 2 for 2, couple of runs scored and 2 RBIs. He doubled in the first, scored his 2 RBIs there. He also singled and scored in the third inning. Bats here with 2 outs and a runner on in the person of Mauricio Mendez. As Ty Teeters takes a look over at first, not much of a lead for Mendez off the bag there. And Teeters delivers. That one is going to miss off the plate away, 1-0. After Hill in the Mustangs order, it's Landon Nash. Here's the 1-0. Curveball, beautiful pitch there from Teeters. Caught the inside corner after starting up above the head of the right-handed hitting Hill. Count is 1-1. Teeters set the pitch, another curveball, and another one misses outside. Teeters staying with the off-speed stuff here to Byron Hill. 3 straight off-speed pitches, and the count is 2-1. 2 outs and a runner aboard at first for Hidden Valley. Here's the 2-1. Elevated fastball and a ground ball to Shively at short. He is going to boot it. Another error for Henley here in the fourth inning. That is their 4th of the day, and it extends this 4th inning. Now it's up to Ty Teeters, trying to have a short memory after feeling like you got out of this inning on that last pitch, trying to find out number 4 here against Landon Nash. Mendez an aggressive lead now out at second. Here's the pitch in. That one is going to miss off the plate away. 1-0. Gunnar Johnson on deck if the inning continues here for Hidden Valley. They had 2 outs, but a single plus the error has extended it. Curveball and a bouncer, a chance for Sims at second. Throw on to first is in time, and that will end the inning. The Mustangs get a couple of base runners, but they leave them both stranded in the fourth. We go to the top half of the fifth next in a 7-2 ball game on mybasin.com.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Chase Barrett, Ryan Douglas, Connor Shively tasked with getting a rally started against Logan Law here in the top of the fifth inning, a game in which Hidden Valley leads Henley 7-2. Chase Barrett awaits the first offering from Logan Law, comes up empty on a swing and a miss, 0-1. Barrett today 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out in the third inning. Pitch on the way from Logan Law. Here it is. That one below the knees, called strike 2. Gamby relaying the signs to Law. Now the pitch. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed on the outside fastball. Down on 3 strikes is Chase Barrett for the second time today, and it brings up Ryan Douglas. And Barrett chasing that outside pitch there, but again, it's been called a strike. Got to protect that outside part. Even on an unhittable pitch, it could be called strike 3 on you today. As that pitch misses low, 1-0. Douglas 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the third inning, and Connor Shively waits on deck. Here's the offering from Law. 1-0, swung on and missed, 1-1. Douglas has got good speed. Just trying to get a ball in play. As that curveball misses low and away there, 2-1. Law working with a bit of pace out there now. When he gets runners on, he likes to slow things down, but working out of the windup, he just wants to keep throwing as he pumps a fastball by Ryan Douglas. Count is 2-2. Back in the box is Douglas. Law looking in. Agrees with the signal from Gamby, and now the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses away. Counts full. Douglas trying to find a way on base. 3-2 pitch. A big one coming up here out of the right hand of Logan Law. That is popped up foul. We'll do it again. 3-2. Douglas on the season for Henley is batting right around 250. 3-2. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Law goes with the change up there and gets a swing and a miss. Now there's 2 outs in the fifth. Connor Shively stepping in now. 1 for 2 day for Connor. He grounded out in the first, but he singled in the third. First pitch to Shively. Curveball taken for a strike. Over the heart of the plate, Shively watches it go by. 0-1. Carson Sims is on deck, hoping for a chance here. The 0-1 to Shively. Swung on and missed. 0-2, two-seam fastball running away from the lefty. He's going to have to get defensive here in a two-strike count. Law ready to go. The two-strike pitch. Curveball rung up Shively on an outside pitch. He goes down looking at strike three, bottom of the fifth, coming up in a 7-2 ball game on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Gunnar Johnson, Jerome Chambers, and Elijah Thompson do up this half inning for the Mustangs. 7, 8, 9 in their order as Ty Teeters continues to work out there for Henley. Bottom of the fifth inning, 7-2, Hidden Valley leads. Johnson settling in now. He's 0 for 2 today, but he did reach on an error in the third. Here's the pitch from Teeters. Curveball outside, 1-0. Try to check in on some other scores for you for Klamath Basin teams. We got a couple finals I'll share with you here in just a moment. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is bounced to third, foul. Count is 1-1. Cross Point Christian defeating Riddle earlier today, 8-2, the final score there. Lost River over Illinois Valley, 5-4. We'll check in on Henley and Hidden Valley softball. It looks like the Hornets have pulled ahead. They lead 5-3. As they get ready to start the fifth inning just over right field as the 1-1 pitch bounces to the plate, 2 balls and a strike. Klamath Union right now leading Mazama, score of 3-1. And that game is in the fifth inning. Let's see. I believe those are all the baseball scores we've got for you there. Count is 2-2 at the plate to Gunnar Johnson. The pitch, 2-2, taken for strike three. A nice one there. And Teeters gets a strikeout to lead off the fifth. Jerome Chambers stepping in now for Hidden Valley. 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out and struck out in the second and third innings. The pitch, curveball over the plate for Teeters. Count is 0-1. Got to be ready to hit that first pitch breaking ball for both teams today. We've seen a lot of breaking balls that caught a lot of the plate that are being looked at for strike one. Here's a bouncer out to Teeters on the mound. He throws to first in time. 1-3 in the book, 2 gone in the fifth. Elijah Thompson getting ready to step in now for Hidden Valley. He's 1 for 1 today, and he scored a run and has 2 RBIs. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the second. Had a 2 RBI single in the third. Here he sends a roller to Meyer at first. The toss to Teeters covering the bag is in time. And the Mustangs down in order in the bottom of the fifth inning. We go to the top of the sixth in a 7-2 ball game next on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com, or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Two, 3, 4 in the Henley lineup. Due up in the top of the sixth inning. Carson Sims, Jacoby Takini, and Ian Meyer. Hornets hoping that translates into a couple of runs here in the sixth. They trail 7-2, and to the best of your ability, you don't want to leave that all up to the seventh inning. Getting a couple here is vital for the Hornets against Logan Law. First pitch is taken off the plate for a ball. 1-0 to Sims. Sims 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, and he flew out in the third. The 1-0 fouled straight back. Count is even, 1-1. Sims settling back in wide in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 1-1. Curveball taken for strike 2. Started over the middle, broke away from the right-handed hitting Sims there. Now Law ahead in the count. He's worked ahead all day long. The pitch is a ground ball to second. Chambers' throw on to first is in time. 1 out in the sixth. Logan Law now through 6 1/3 innings has done really well today for Hidden Valley. 12 strikeouts on the day for him. He's allowed 3 hits and 2 runs. We'll just check the full line score for both teams. Hidden Valley up 7-2, 7 runs on 7 hits. 1 error for Hidden Valley, and they have left 6 runners on base today. For Henley, 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. They've left 2 runners on base today. The count is a ball and a strike to the number 3 hitter in the Henley order, Jacoby Takini. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts this afternoon. Here is the pitch. 1-1, curveball, bounces 2-1. Again, we'll remind you one more time, maybe 2 more times, who knows, that the series continues on Friday back at Rosser Field. 3 p.m. start for a doubleheader as the season series wraps up between the Skyline Conference 2 best teams. A 2-1 pitch misses upstairs and away, 3-1. Hidden Valley looking to stake their place as the best team in the Skyline Conference. With a win today, they would take over first place. The 3-1. Takini fouls it off. 3-2. Ian Meyer waits on deck after Jacoby Takini. Three-two on the way. Here's the pitch. Curveball nearly hit Takini. He'll duck out of the way of that, and he'll take first base. A 1-out base runner for the Hornets. And that will likely mean Max Price going to take over on the base paths for Takini. There he is. And in steps Ian Meyer. Meyer today 1 for 2. He struck out in the first, singled and scored in the fourth. Law set on the hill, working out of the stretch. And now the pitch. Elevated fastball, hit a ton to right center field. Nash going back near the wall. He makes the catch for the second out. Hit that one to the deepest part of the field. And Derek Cox stepping in now. Derek 1 for 2 today. A 2-run homer from back in the fourth inning has been all of Henley's offense so far today. Here he bats with 2 outs. The pitch misses high. They throw down to first. Mendez, standing 6'6", is the only reason that ball didn't end up in right field. 1-0 the count to Derek Cox. Here's the pitch from Logan Law. Curveball beautifully broken off for strike 1. After Derek in the order, it's Corbin Hamilton. Law comes set. And here's the pitch. No, we'll have a check on the runner at first. Max Price dives back safely. Worried about the speed for Price. But with 2 outs and a big deficit, they're going to play conservative on the base paths. Here's the 1-1. That one bounces to the plate. The freshman Gamby does a fine job of knocking it down, keeping it in front of him. 2-1. Always tough to come in as a freshman catcher and demand the respect of a pitching staff. Logan Law, a junior, but trusts his freshman catcher out there. He throws well, and we've got new baseball, I think, coming out. I think they were giving Gamby a breather back there after he had to block that one in the chest piece. I think he's okay. But umpire discretion on that one. Nothing wrong with giving the catcher a little bit of time, I think, after a tough one like that, especially when that gets him up near the mask in the chest area. So 2 balls and a strike as everyone's set for more baseball here today at Hidden Valley High School. Derek Cox settles back in. 2 outs in the inning. Cox lifts one into the air, right side foul, out of play. Counts 2-2. Cox settles back in. 2 strikes on him. Takes a deep breath and settles back in. Law looks into Gamby, gets the sign, shakes him off once, now is agreeable. Here's the 2-2 to Derek Cox. Law delivers. 2-seam fastball, misses high. Good take there by Derek. Henley's been chasing that high heat today, and Cox went down on a strikeout earlier in the second inning, but learning from his mistake, laying off there and working the count full. 3-2. Law set. Trying to end this inning before Henley can get anything across. Runner on the move. The pitch misses in. And there's 2 on and 2 out for Corbin Hamilton. Price to second. Cox aboard at first. Law today has allowed 2 walks, each of them in this inning. We'll see how much longer they leave him out there for Hidden Valley. He's pitched well today, but when you start missing the zone like that, the leash can start to tighten. But that's what the coaches, that's why it's their decision. These are tough ones to make in big conference games like this. The 1-0 is going to be rolled foul down the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Corbin Hamilton at the plate. Max Price aboard at second. Derek Cox aboard at first. It's a 7-2 ball game. Set on the mound is Law with the 1-1. Second baseman Chambers trying to keep Price honest out there as that pitch dips below the zone. Count is 2-1 to Corbin Hamilton. Cam Carpenter on deck. Set again is Law. Looks at Price at second, who takes an extra half step, and now the 2-1 is waved at and missed on the outside part. 2-2. 2 on and 2 out in a 7-2 ball game. Top of the 6th inning. Big pitch here coming from Logan Law. Here it comes. Corbin Hamilton rolls one right back to the pitcher. Law going to throw on to Mendez in time, and that will end the inning. No base hits, but the Hornets strand 2, and they trail 7-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th next on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Top of the Hidden Valley order due up in the bottom of the 6th inning. Gage Gamby, Lawson O'Leary, and Logan Law as Hidden Valley leads Henley 7-2 in this Skyline Conference matchup. Here steps Gage Gamby. 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first and scored. He also walked in the second. He struck out in the third. Ty Teeters still out there working for Henley. He's taken over for Corbin Hamilton and pitched well against a Mustangs order that has been hot to start the game, and Teeters has sort of quelled that here in the 4th and 5th innings, trying to continue that streak here in the 6th, trying to keep the 5-run disadvantage for Henley right where it is. Try not to stack the deck any more against Henley than it already is. The 0-1 to Gage Gamby. Here it comes. Curveball is hit high to right field, but playable for Hamilton. Makes the catch, 1 gone in the 6th. So with 1 out, it brings up Lawson O'Leary. O'Leary without a hit today. He walked in the first and scored, reached on an error in the second, and then flew out in the 4th. I had been waiting to do this until I think it's his last at-bat, but I do understand that we've got some dedicated Mustangs fans, family of Lawson O'Leary, who choose our broadcasts this week. Appreciate you very much, listening all the way from Alabama, which is pretty cool. First pitch to him is low, 1-0. Always like hearing the different fans, especially from different schools that tune in and catch our broadcasts on mybasin.com. Always very neat to me. Oh, boy, O'Leary sends a jolt into one. Okay, a solo homer for Lawson O'Leary extends the lead 8-2. All right, I guess you mentioned the family and you go yard. We'll take it for Lawson O'Leary. It brings up Logan Law. 8-2 the score. 1 out in the 6th. There was no doubt about that shot. That ball was hit a mile. Logan Law stepping in now, 0 for 3 today. Strikeout and a couple of ground outs for him. Here's the pitch. Curveball, hard grounder to Cox at third. He's up with it, sets his feet, throws on to Meyer, 2 gone in the 6th. And this will bring up Mauricio Mendez for Hidden Valley. Mendez is 2 for 3. He's singled twice and scored once. That was in the first inning. He also mixed in a strikeout in there. Here's the pitch. Misses in. 1-0. 2 outs in the inning. Bottom of the 6th. 8-2 the score. Hidden Valley leads. The pitch from Teeters is hit a ton, but foul. Mendez was just a little bit out in front of that pitch. As he settles back in, 1-1. That one misses low, 2-1. The count to Mendez. Byron Hill on deck for Hidden Valley if the inning continues. The pitch from Teeters, a curveball, dips away, probably low as well, 3-1. Teeters going to have to offer up a pitch to hit here to Mendez. Try and get out of this inning. Here's the pitch. That's a 2-seam fastball, catches the outer third against the righty. Teeters uses it to work the count full. Takini delivering the sign, setting up the target. Here's the 3-2. Curveball gets Mendez looking for strike 3, but the Mustangs add a run in the 6th on the solo homer for Lawson O'Leary. It's an 8-2 ball game as we go to the 7th next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Top of the 7th inning and the bottom third of the Henley order due up here in an 8-2 ball game. Here's Cam Carpenter. The first pitch to Carpenter is bounced foul. Count is 0-1. It's an 8-2 ball game as Hidden Valley looking to close out their first win against Henley in 4 seasons. Here's the 0-1 to Cam Carpenter as he hits one in the air, right field, but playable for Thompson. In a couple of steps, makes the catch, one gone in the 7th. Chase Barrett getting ready to step in now against Logan Law. Barrett 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts today. Law has really had his way with the bottom third of the Henley order today. Carpenter flying out there was the first time that one of these guys hadn't struck out today as Barrett takes strike 1. Law working out of the windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Barrett lifts one into the air, foul off the right side, 0-2. Ryan Douglas waiting on deck for Henley. (0-2) on the way to Chase Barrett. Law gets a bouncer to third. Hill is up with it, sets his feet, throws to first in time, and there's 2 gone in the 7th. Hornets down to their final out today, and it's Ryan Douglas trying to step in and extend this ball game. 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts today against Law, who's looking to finish out a complete game today. Here's the pitch to Douglas. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. 0-1. Douglas settles back in. Connor Shively's on deck if the game continues. That pitch misses upstairs. 1-1. Douglas settling in. Here's the 1-1. Looked at for a strike. Counts 1-2, and the Hornets down to their final strike of the afternoon. Law looks in, gets the sign from Gamby. Delivers, bounces to the plate. 2-2. Law back on the hill. Looking in against Ryan Douglas, trying to set down the Hornets. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that is the ball game. Logan Law with a complete game and an 8-2 victory against the Henley Hornets. We'll be back in 2 minutes to recap this one for you next on mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Final score today from Hidden Valley High School. The Mustangs defend home field with an 8-2 victory over the Henley Hornets today. 8 runs on 8 hits for Hidden Valley. They commit 1 error, and they leave 6 runners on base. For Henley today, 2 runs on 3 hits. The Hornets commit 4 errors today, and they leave 4 runners on base. The winning pitcher in a complete game was Logan Law, pitching 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a staggering 13 strikeouts today. The losing pitcher, Corbin Hamilton, who pitched 2 2.75 innings, allowing 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned. He struck out 3. Ty Teeters pitched well today in relief. I want to give him a shout. 3 1/3 pitch, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He struck out 3 batters. Couple of offensive notables today for Henley. Hits hard to come by. They went to Connor Shively, Ian Meyer, and Derek Cox with a 2-run homer. Gave the Hornets all their offense today in an 8-2 victory. This is the first time a Hidden Valley team has beat Henley since April 15th of 2022. A 4-2 victory for the Mustangs way back then, and now this team doing something that none of their classmates have done in the last 4 seasons, and that's defeat the Henley Hornets in a Skyline Conference game. With this win, Hidden Valley improves to 7-0 in league play, 19-2 overall in the season. They have now won their 14th consecutive ball game. Henley falls to 6-1 in league play, their first loss in league play in 4 seasons. They fall to 18-3 on the year. But the series continues on Friday as the Hornets and the Mustangs get together for a twin bill at Rosser Field starting at 3 p.m. And we'll be along with you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and right here on mybasin.com. Although that about does it for us here today. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Henley Hornets Baseball. Want to give a shout to the folks that make today's broadcast possible. Both head coaches, Sean Teeters of the Henley Hornets and Ryan Wilson of the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Also Sam Osofsky here at Hidden Valley, the athletic director, for giving us a place to sit here behind the backstop. Also thanks to you for tuning in to another edition of Henley Baseball. Like I said, we'll be back with you for a doubleheader on Friday, but until then, my name is Josh Eldridge. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. So long and good night from the campus of Hidden Valley High School.